Africa, my Africa, Africa of proud warriors, in ancestral savannas Africa, of whom my grandmother sings. On the banks of the distant river, I have never known you, but your blood flows in my veins, your beautiful black blood that irrigates the fields, the blood of your sweat, the sweat of your work, the work of your slavery, the slavery of your children. Africa, tell me, Africa, is this your back that bends? This back that bends under the weight of humiliation, this back that trembles with scars and saying yes to the whip under the midday sun? But a great voice answers me, impetuous child, that tree young and strong, that tree over there, splendid loneliness amidst white and faded flowers. That is Africa, your Africa that grows again patiently, obstinately, and whose fruit little by little acquires the bitter taste of liberty. This is part of a series called A Minute with Masters, where we look at iconic works of world literature 1 minute at a time. Today's poem is, of course, Africa, My Africa by David Diop. Now, if you're an African or have any connection to the continent, chances are you've heard this poem before. It's probably one of the most well-known modern African poems. It was written in 1956 and published in Diop's collection Coup de Pilon, or Hammer Blows. Though he wrote in French, Diop was very much a product of the African anti-colonial movements of his day. He was born in Senegal, studied in Paris, and was part of the literary movement known as the Jeune Afrique, or Young Africa, which sought to define a new African identity free from colonial rule. This poem, which has also been called Afrique mon Afrique, was actually first published in a small collection of 3 poems that also includes L'Harmattan and Chants pour l'Aube, or Songs for Dawn. Like many of Diop's works, the poem speaks to the pain of colonialism, but it also affirms Africa's unstoppable resilience. The opening lines establish a kind of universal connection between the speaker and the continent. Although he says he has never known his homeland, Africa, because he was born in Senegal and presumably lived most of his life in France, he nevertheless feels an undeniable link to the land of his ancestors. The river he mentions may be the Senegal River, which flows through several West African countries, including Senegal, and is believed to be one of the longest rivers in Africa. As the poem progresses, though, the tone becomes more urgent. The speaker asks a series of rhetorical questions about the state of his people under colonial rule, culminating in the heartbreaking image of a slave saying yes to the whip under the midday sun. But the final lines offer a glimmer of hope. A strong tree is growing, a symbol of the African people's indomitable spirit, which will one day bear the fruit of liberty. Unfortunately, David Diop didn't live to see that day. He died in a plane crash in 1960 at the age of just 33. But his powerful voice continues to inspire generations of Africans and people of African descent around the world. If you enjoyed this minute and want to hear more about incredible works of African literature, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, thank you for joining me in this Minute with Masters.